We all have passions that drive us. And since 1934, Fram's driving passion has been focused on protecting your vehicle. Fram's premium industry-leading filters are designed to optimize your vehicle's performance and keep the air you breathe clean. Whether it's an oil, engine, or cabin air filter, Fram keeps you moving forward with innovative filtration technology designed for what drives you. So find your passion, and we'll make sure you get there with confidence. Visit Fram.com for more info and retailers near you.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
What is The Briefing Room? It's a behind-the-scenes look at how the criminal justice system works and the lives of the people within that system.
If you love true crime, well, these are the real people who do the job every day of making sure justice is served.
Hi, I'm Detective Dave.
I'm Detective Dan. Together we have decades of experience in local law enforcement, a profession that we think is often misunderstood.
So we're going to explore how to do it right, and we won't shy away from when it's done wrong. These are stories you'll hear nowhere else. Unique, frank, and unvarnished.
From the team that brought you Small Town Dicks, this is The Briefing Room. Episode 1 drops on August 30th.
We'll meet you in the briefing room.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.
And welcome back to Little Cuts, our weekly mini-sode where we dig into things that we've been watching recently. I'm Terry.
And I'm Mary Beth. And this week, we're talking about a period horror film with werewolves, an action franchise watch, the best multiverse movie, and assassin folk horror.
Assassin folk horror.
I mean, am I wrong, bro?
No, you are not. As I said before recording, that is like the perfect distillation of that movie.
It's
in
true.
3 words.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start with this period history horror werewolf, whatever it is. I am dying to hear about this one.
Okay, so this is funny because Steve asked me to watch this, which, like, he's a horror person. Like, not as much as I am, but that's, and, he saw something about it, and he was like, this looks like Bloodborne the movie. We have to watch it. And I was like, I have heard insane things about this, so I'm very excited to watch this with you. Like, I've heard things, and I was like, fuck yeah, like, why not? It's the guy who did, Silent Hill. Mm-hmm. The Silent Hill remake. And I was like, well, I fucking love that movie. So let's see. It is 2.5 hours. Mm-hmm. It is 3 different movies in one. Mm-hmm. It's pretty racist.
Did you say what it is?
Oh my God. I got so excited to talk about it. Talking about Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, I cannot fucking believe it. We do that so often, both of us. It's so funny. I'm like, as often as we fucking do this, it's like we just forget that we're
so excited to talk about the movie.
But this is Brotherhood of the Wolf from 2001 by Christoph Gans, who I said directed the Silent Hill reboot. This is...
So you said it's a little racist?
Yeah, so let me set the scene a little bit. So this takes place in 19th century France, and when I tell you this is about French aristocracy, the outfits are fucking, and the wigs, like the costume design and the set design are incredible. Like, it is so over the top campy, and it's incredible. So it takes place in 18th century France, where a knight and his, in the description, Native American friend Manny are sent by the king to the Gavaudan province to investigate the killings of hundreds by a mysterious beast. And this is actually based on a true story. The Beast of Gavaudan was a real thing that happened, and it's an unsolved mystery. Like, something killed hundreds of people in France in the 18th century. And so this is kind of like a historical retelling of what it was. And what it was not what I expected. I thought it was a werewolf movie. Sorry, everyone, spoilers. It's not a werewolf movie.
Oh, it's not?
It's not a werewolf movie.
Oh.
So I will say, it is incredible how they make it feel like a werewolf movie when it's not actually a werewolf movie. But Manny plays an indigenous person who also knows martial arts. This is a martial arts movie also.
I didn't know that.
And there's like extended sequences of Manny, who is played by Mark Dacascos. Mark Dacascos was in like John Wick 3. He hosts MasterChef. He's in a bunch. He's in Cradle to the Grave. Yeah, he's like in a bunch. It's like wild, but he's like a martial arts person. So they have him in a 18th century period horror film doing martial arts in like these slow-mo action scenes.
Oh, Iron Chef.
Iron Chef. Jesus, I'm mad.
I was like, I watch MasterChef, and this guy does not look familiar to me.
Sorry. Getting it all to say. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's. I applaud it for what it's doing, but it does not land for me in the way that I think it lands for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was a great experience, but I just think it's so it's so disjointed in its storytelling. And like they like barely explain anything. In 2.5 hours, they do not explain who an entire group of people are and what the fuck is happening until the last 1 minute of the movie. It is 2.5 hours long. I'm sorry, I'm getting mad. But Steve and I were looking at each other and I was like, did I miss something? He's like, I do not know who these people are. This is 2 hours in and we do not know who this group of people are.
Amazing.
It's incredible. And Monica Bellucci plays like...
Oh, I forgot she was in it.
I'm obsessed with her. Like, she is so fucking hot. And she's like so good at playing the sultry character. And she's always sexualized in movies, which I feel bad at. Like, I feel bad that that's her role, but like, she's so good at it and she's so sultry. And she's in this movie in the fucking weirdest outfits I've ever seen. And she plays a sex worker who's actually a monster hunter.
Wow.
Babes, this movie's incredible. And it's incredible in all the twists and turns. That's like, you're glad you experienced it, but like, doesn't match.
Oh, it also has Jeremy Renier, who we saw recently in Double Lover as Paul and Louis.
Oh my god, that's right. And Vincent Cassel is in this too.
Yes. Wild.
He has like Gaston hair from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
It's like everyone has a mullet. It's incredible. It's just like I think it's worth watching. While it doesn't always work, it is like such a fucking swing for the fences that I appreciate like everything it's trying to do. Like, this movie probably shouldn't have been made. Like, it makes no sense, but it's really cool that it was made despite it making no sense. And there's some really cool action sequences and costume design. So I recommend it. Anyway.
Sweet.
It's fucking insane, but good for him. What is this? Sorry, going from period werewolf, not werewolf horror. What is this action franchise watch?
Okay, so last week I talked about Blood, Sweat, and Chrome, the wild and true story of Mad Max Fury Road. And so I was like on a trip, and I was like, I need to watch these Mad Max movies because I've only ever seen Fury Road.
Me too. I saw that you were doing rewatch them Letterboxd, so I was like, oh.
So I bought all 4 of them on Ultra HD, and
wow.
I spent Friday night and Saturday night watching Mad Max the Road Warrior, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and then Fury Road. And
that sounds incredible.
It was incredible. And you know what? Each movie is actually quite good in particular ways. I mean, I'll talk about the third one because that one's a mess. But so the original Mad Max, what surprised me about it, watching him going from it, is how like over time it feels like the apocalypse or the post-apocalypse is like just getting worse and worse. Because like the first one kind of feels like it could almost be right now in a way. There's just like there's like cops and there's like people racing on the road and doing horrible things, and the cops are almost vigilante trying to track them down. Someone gets out because of justice not being served, and Mad Max goes like after them and then kind of doesn't. And then spoiler alert, but I mean, if you know anything about these movies, his wife and kid are murdered by the motorcycle gang, and that is like the breaking point, and that's when he just goes off in town. And the first movie is like more grounded and pure carsploitation. Like, it came out in 1979 and it feels of that era. It feels like it's pure car exploitation of like fantastic stunts, crazy stuntmen doing wild and insane stunts, and just violence and car love. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, fun, maybe not right word, but it was definitely it kind of felt like the movie that I think Quentin Tarantino was going for with his, what was that one called that he did with Robert Rodriguez? Death Proof? Yeah, Death Proof. Like, I could see hints of this in that movie. And then the Road Warrior, which I'm just going to go through most of these just briefly, but the Road Warrior came out in 1981 as a sequel, and it embraces like early 80s punk aesthetic meets gay club.
Love that. The
villains all look like they're heading to like a fetish club or some wild punk show or an orgy, or all three. You don't really know.
The night is young.
The night is young. They have like, what kills me is they have names like, what is the killer's name? They're the big guy. His name is The Humongous, and he is
sick.
This guy that is wearing like a leather bondage outfit almost. Here, I'm gonna put the IMDb page for him.
I'm scrolling through
with like a Jason mask.
Okay, I see. I can definitely see like Fury Road and Mad Max too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I would say that Fury Road definitely is pulling.
Wow. We cannot see shit.
Oh, yeah. That's the Humongous. He's wearing a Jason mask with like fucking leather bondage.
He looks like he's about to beat the shit out of someone, but like in a sexy way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and
I'm so sorry, but look at that butt.
Oh, I know.
I'll post these photos on Twitter. Like, we could edit this out, but I need everyone to see this photo, so I'm not gonna, well, Terry, you're editing, so I guess it's kind of up to you, but...
I'm keeping this in.
Because it's so fun. It's got people running from fire that's, like, shooting down, plus this guy in, like, fucking hot pants with his ass cheeks hanging out in bondage gear. It's incredible. It's the best thing I've ever seen.
Well, and what surprised me about these first two movies in particular is that, they're on the villain side, but like they have relationships that seem queer.
Oh, hell yeah.
And no one questions it. Like at one point, in the Road Warrior, one of the villains is lover ? I guess, sort of. I'm not really 100% sure the dynamics between them are, but like he gets killed and he is very upset, and so the man, the Humongous, says, "We've all lost someone we loved. You'll get your revenge." And so like there's aspects of it that is like embracing sort of a queer aesthetic and also maybe queer love in a way that does not feel judgmental, outside of the fact that they're on the villain side, but like no one questions it. It's not like a thing, and I love that.
Feels very Fist of the North Star. Have you ever watched Fist of the North Star?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's anime.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, it's got a lot of, hold on, when did it come out before I say anything? Because it was a manga, 1983 to 1988, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe George Miller pulled a little bit from it, because it's like post-apocalyptic, people driving a lot of cars and shit and like fighting each other, and it's got like homoerotic undertones. They're all wearing like bondage gear and fighting each other and like all muscly and shit. So it's very... I like Fist of the North Star, but it's wild. But it's
Wait, when did it come out?
It's an anime series that came out in the 80s.
Okay, because this one came out in 81.
Oh my god, I am unable to understand dates and times. So reverse what the fuck I just said, and that Fist of the North Star was definitely pulling from Mad Max 2. There we go. That's what I meant to say.
I love that. Okay, but then we get to Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, which is...
Okay, so this is the one I have partially seen. And by partially seen, I mean just been like, what in the fuck is happening?
That is what I asked during this movie. Of the four movies, this one is kind of a miss in a lot of ways. So it was released in 1985, and boy, let me tell you, it opens with a Tina Turner song. It's like mid-80s.
Right. That's Tina Turner. I forgot. Yes. Tina Turner.
Yes. The mid-80s is just flooding over me with this opening. And there's this really cool overhead shot where and it definitely feels like he was taking from this when he did Fury Road, which is really cool overhead shot that is like zooming over a desert, and the camera just zooms over camels, and it turns out that camera is like a gyrocopter, and he's like attacking Mad Max.
Yeah.
And it's just really kind of cool thing. And Mad Max in this one has Braveheart hair. It's Mel Gibson in a Braveheart hair wig, and it's horrible, and it looks so terrible.
Oh wow, that really is terrible. It's like it's a full mullet.
It's so bad.
What in the fuck is this? Wow.
But okay, so Tina Turner is the villain, and the first part of this movie is like fantastic. It's like they're at this town. This town is being run literally on shit that is produced by pigs. And there is this, the person that is running it, his name, well, it's two people. It's Master and Blaster.
Sorry, that was not good on the ears for anybody, and I apologize.
Yeah, so there's Master Blaster, Master Blaster, and the Master is a little person played by Angelo Rosito, who, funny enough, was born in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, in like 1908, and he was in a bunch of, I think he was in Freaks. He was in a couple Lon Chaney movies. So he was apparently in Something Wicked. This Way Comes. Oh, okay.
According to Letterboxd.
So he plays the Master, and he literally rides on the back of this hulking brute called the Blaster. And so together they're Master Blaster, and they run the Undercity that is like run on pig shit. And Mad Max has to go like kill the Blaster because Queen Tina Turner is like, no, I'm running this town, not the people down below. And so there's like this class warfare thing going on about the people working in shit, and they're like literal, in some ways, slaves, and like slave labor is working to build this city that she is running literally perched above everything. So there's definitely like a class dynamic thing going on here. And then it leaves that and it turns into like The Lost Boys, where Mel Gibson's Mad Max becomes like the savior to a bunch of kids who lost all their families in a plane crash and have just lived in a little oasis. I don't know. It's really bizarre.
What did you just say to me?
I know, right? But I mean, Tina Turner is queen. She literally has someone that plays mood-setting music. At one point, when Mad Max is going to tell the story, she's like, hey, you need to play something more sad. And so he starts playing a saxophone as like a sad tune. Like, she has mood-setting music, someone to play for her.
That's incredible.
And that's amazing.
Wow.
And then we get to Fury Road. And y'all...
It's just the best.
I can't really say anything. It's perfect. It's a perfect movie.
It is
a perfect movie. I watched it and I was just as amazed at the stunt work. I'm just amazed at the colors, the cinematography, the stunts, the everything. This is a movie that should not exist. And it is obviously, I mean, it's the best of the Mad Max movies. They all pale in comparison to it. And it's probably the best action movie I've ever seen. So, loved it. But that was my wild journey through the Mad Max world.
That sounds incredible. I really want to watch them now.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
I'm meaning to. So, this is going to push me that way. And I think Steve wants to watch them too, so.
And you said you'd never seen...
I've only seen Fury Road. Mm-hmm. Imagine if I hadn't seen Fury Road.
We'd be stopping this recording and there'd be no Little Cuts this week because I'd be like, no, we're watching it.
It's like that and The Thing are the movies we put on all the time. Such a good movie.
Yeah.
God, it's so good. Sorry.
I know, it's so good. And I actually...
thinking about Fury Road and I'm just like, fuck, I want to go watch that now.
Girl, I don't think... It's been years since I've seen it. And I sat down to watch it. Yeah, it's not... I don't know why. I guess I don't revisit movies a whole lot anymore.
That's fair. I don't usually either, but it's... Jesus, that's... Ugh,
but I'll tell you, I was done and I was ready to start over from the opening because it's such a perfectly executed movie. And my roommate Cass had never seen it before and she was like, holy shit. No, these were all new movies for her.
Wow,
and she was just...
Wow, she watched it for the first... Oh, did you watch them all together?
Yeah.
You got to watch her experience Fury Road for the first time.
And hearing a bunch of like, holy shit.
Congratulations. What a beautiful moment.
I know. It was so good. Oh, it was so good.
Wow. I'm getting goosebumps. I don't know.
I got goosebumps.
Sounds so fun. Wow.
Oh, man.
Incredible.
Okay, now I know what this next movie is, but I cannot wait to hear about it. What is the best multiverse movie?
The best multiverse movie is Everything Everywhere All at Once from Daniels, starring Michelle Yeoh and Stephanie Su and Ki Hu Kwan. They come together to create this beautiful family in a fucking crazy multiverse movie where basically Michelle Yeoh plays Evelyn, who is she's an aging Chinese immigrant. She's living above a laundromat. She's trying to get through an audit. And her husband is the sweetest guy, played by Ki Hui Kwan, who is like the nicest guy ever. And she just like bowls him over. And then all of a sudden she becomes like entrapped in this multiverse situation. And she has to help save the world from a villain, and the villain is a very surprising villain, and it has this like incredible emotional core to it. It's like an example of how you can make these like incredibly complicated multiverse movies without it being this like Marvel like million franchise. And it's all about a family. It's about a Chinese family. It's about the relationships between like mothers and daughters, and also between husbands and wives. And it has so much going on in terms of what it's tackling for Evelyn, in terms of investigating her own kind of like emotional issues. Because in every universe, in almost every universe, she knows her husband in some way. So like and it's this really interesting look at like what she didn't bring to the marriage and appreciate, and also what she doesn't appreciate with her daughter. Oh. Through an incredible movie where she has like hot dog fingers and like there's butt plugs and like martial arts, and it's just like this beautiful film that's so ridiculous, and it is the most incredible experience I've ever had. Like was so fun. I went to the Alamo Drafthouse for the first time. I was eating pizza and mozzarella sticks on top of this, so it was a great like that just enhanced my experience.
I gotta ask, how was the Alamo Drafthouse?
It's brand new in DC. Like it just opened a couple months ago, and it was really nice. Our service was weird, but it was like just like a misunderstanding. But like the seats were amazing. The food was really good when we got it. Like it was just so fun. Like it's expensive though. Like it's a big night out though when you go. It's not cheap, but it's worth it because it's just like a fun dinner and a movie. But it's just so incredibly done. It's so unique. Michelle Yeoh is an incredible actress. Like she's amazing, and it's really amazing to see movies about older people played by older people and taking them seriously as human beings, as like complicated, flawed people. And also a woman who's not a total mess, but like kind of an emotional mess. Right. And she's not like always the most likable person, and that's incredible. But also has all these weird, like, it's just incredible what they're able to accomplish, like the balance they're able to accomplish with this movie. And I know that it's like staggering its release, so it might not be out. It's actually supposed to be opening up wider this week, like as of today, I think, like on Friday. It's opening wider. Ew, that's disgusting that I just said that. It opens across the country.
Oh my god. I was even going to run with it until you said that, and then I was like, oh wait.
I know. I was like, oh, I can't. That was weird. That was a weird thing to say. Like, it makes sense. It's just terrible phrasing. But hopefully it'll be at more theaters near people, because like this is the kind of movie that I am like absolutely stoked that it has like a theatrical release. Like I know it's still a weird time to go to theaters if you don't feel safe. Like I totally get that. But like this is an incredible example of like a really cool theatrical release that people took a chance on, and it's so good. So I'm hoping more people see it. Like it was pretty crowded when I saw it, and like the whole weekend it was packed for getting seats. for the movie, and like and they had multiple theaters playing it. So I'm excited that this kind of movie is getting so much attention. Like that just makes me so excited about like movies and what people are going to watch and what kind of like voices are going to be shared, and it's just kind of cool. It's just it's heartwarming.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. It's something special. So it's 2.5 hours long, but that's fine. I did not realize it was 2.5 hours long, but it does not feel 2.5 hours long, and it fills that time well, I think. So
awesome.
Yeah. But shifting the narrative to something pretty damn fucked up. Assassin folk horror. What is the folk horror that we watched this week, Terry?
I just yawned. I made you yawn too.
Yeah,
it's been a long week. Okay, we watched Kill List. Ben Wheatley's Kill List, and I have seen this. This is the second time I've watched it. I saw it, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago for the first time. After everyone had been talking about it, I think it might have been a Shockwave's recommendation, and so I had watched it. I think Elric Kane is really enamored with it.
It came out in 2011. I just wanted to. I was like, when this came out a while, like not a while ago,
a long time ago, like 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
I cannot believe 2011 was 11 years ago.
I know, right? Yeah. So it's about these two friends, and a marriage. Like the main character Jay is married to, funny enough, Shell, who is played by Mayanna Buring, who was in The Descent.
Yes, that's okay. I was trying to fucking remember. I was like, I know this face.
She was Sam in The Descent, and also Callie in Doomsday. So, and also Tanya in Twilight Saga: Breaking Dawn.
That's fucking hysterical. Good for her.
But yeah, so Jay and Shell have a horrible marriage. They are just like, it seems like they are disintegrating in front of their poor kid who's watching this all happen, and they go from being lovey-dovey to like literally yelling and just upending tables and being horrible to each other. Meanwhile, Jay's friend Gal, played by Michael Smiley.
I am fucking obsessed with Michael Smiley. I'm going to say something very controversial and very brave. I think he's really attractive.
Okay, but I do too.
Oh my god! Yes! Oh my god! Wow, a safe space.
he has charisma.
He has such a good vibe, even when he's playing an assassin. But like, he's got such a good vibe. He's got like this like kind of cute little droopy look.
I mean, he's unconventional, but like, there's something very endearing and yes, hot about him. I am on board with this Michael Smiley love. I am here for it. The Schmeichel. But yeah, so like, it turns out, as you start to learn as you're watching the movie that they used to be in the army together, and then that kind of transitioned to them being hitmen, and they're, gonna get out of it, but one more contract, and
because Jay doesn't want to do it again, but he's out of money, so he's like, come on, got you a job, and he's
dangling in front of him, and
his wife doesn't know.
Okay, doesn't she?
She doesn't know.
She doesn't. Okay,
I'm like 90% sure she doesn't know. He lies about it because she thinks he can go on disability and stuff, and he can't because he wasn't like, that's how he had $40,000, and he doesn't work for 8 months because his back, but it's because he can't tell her that he's not taking contracts anymore. I'm like pretty sure that's it.
I'm really confused because at one point, like, I believe that, but at one point, when his like credit card gets declined, he's like yelling at her about like how this is the sort of thing that botches their job. And so like I was kind of confused about that point. And it also at the very end seems like she's been in on it the entire time.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was the case too, but then I'm like but they're awful cavalier about talking about how like, the credit card was declined at the hotel and this is how you get caught.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what job I like forgot like what job she thinks he does. I don't know. I don't know. I cannot remember all of a sudden. And I just rewatched this movie. Anywho, they take the contract.
They sure do.
And they're given 3 targets. The first one is the priest. The second one
librarian.
is the librarian. And then the third one is the MP or a member of parliament.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all very strange. It's got like weird vibes, and they are thanked for killing these people.
And Fiona, who Gal is dating, carves a symbol in the back of the bathroom mirror that shows up.
Yep. And it gets like progressively worse. And this ending is like this was one of the most upsetting horror endings I'd ever seen when I saw it. Like, I was so disturbed by the end of this movie when I first watched it. I was ruined. I was like, I can't do this. Because you don't, when I first watched it, I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's it's like when Fiona carves the symbol into the back of the mirror, like, obviously weird things are happening, but like, it's so bizarre and off-putting, but it's not necessarily like you don't expect it to turn into this like cult human sacrifice situation.
The horror aspect is very subtle in the beginning, and I like the way that it just gets more and more so, and the same time as like their mission becomes more horrific, like the librarian. Librarian is like making sickening, probably snuff films. He has a collection of these sickening videos that I believe are snuff films, and there's just like horrible stuff that happens, but like I remember watching this and thinking, why do people call this a horror movie? And then by the end of it, you're just sitting there like, what the absolute fuck? What the absolute fuck?
This is Ben Wheatley's best movie.
Oh.
I'll say it.
I mean, I'll say it. I'll agree, but
movie.
I think I've only seen 2 of his movies.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me pull up.
Yeah, I've seen Kill List and The Earth. I have not seen Sightseers, A Field in England, High Rise, Free Fire, Rebecca.
Oh, Rebecca was bad. I haven't seen Field in England. I know that's close to Kill List in terms of... Yeah,
it's also folk horror, I believe.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of dudes in the 18th, 19th century do mushrooms in a field and it gets nuts. I miss when he did weird shit like that, but...
I mean, I liked In the Earth.
In the Earth was... Okay, that's true. I should give him more credit for that one. In the Earth was pretty good and very much a return to form for him, which I was very excited about. He's also directing Meg 2.
I know. I was just going to say it. I am like...
I'm so excited. It's going to be so weird.
And confused.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a good choice, though. It's weird. And I think that's what you need for the Meg. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And and it's supposedly Meg 2 is being adapted from the book, The Trench, which...
Oh, okay.
Okay. Full disclosure. I have read every single one of the Meg books.
Oh my god, incredible.
They're not good, but they're shark books. And there was a time in Terry's life where I would find any book that had anything to do with sharks and I would read it. Wow. And so I got sucked into the Meg. But I do think The Trench is actually quite good because it has like aspects that Terry loves. It's underwater. It's in an underwater lab on the bottom of the ocean. That's like peak Terry right there. Anything that is in a lab underwater, Terry's here for. And so it's like, and I don't know why I'm just like talking third person, but here we are. It's today.
I'm vibing with it. I like it. Keep going.
But yeah, so I'm really confused and excited that he is directing Meg 2.
I know. Back to Kill List. It's one of my favorites. Like one of my favorite horror movies. And like it's like a top like 20, but still I think it's an incredible movie that like really fucking pulls the rug out from under you. And it still shocks me when I watch it now. Like I know because like the first time I watched it, I watched it with my dad. It was like 2013. I don't know. It was like pretty soon after, like a couple years after it came out. He was like, Because this was my dad and I were still talking, obviously, when I lived with my dad at this point. And, like, we would watch a lot of horror movies. And he would be on, like, Bloody Disgusting and stuff. Like, he was up on horror news, which was... He like, oh, I heard about this really fucked up movie called Kill List. Let's watch it. And I was like, hell yeah. I love fucked up movies. And so we put it on. He fucking hated it. And I loved it. I was like... But this is the problem with watching movies with my dad and his wife, because they make fun of things, like, if they don't like it. And that was annoying. But the ending shut them up, which was great.
Yeah. The thing that stood out to me this time, though, was the dinner. There's the dinner scene.
Oh, yes.
And it is so incredibly awkward. And it's like, even before a movie gets horrifying, that is a horrifying moment of them just, like, getting drunker and drunker, and things that no one has been saying are now, like, coming to the surface. It's like, oof.
Well, and, like, I tweeted this before this started. I was like, Kill List. What did I tweet? I can't even fucking remember. It was, Kill List is a masterpiece that uses folk horror to examine both masculinity and the love between two men who met under violent circumstances. In this essay, I will.
Absolutely.
This time watching it was, like, really enamored with this representation of, like, a brotherhood and friendship in, like, a very interesting way. And I admire that because, like, you know, with horror, it's not super common to see these kinds of complex male relationships that are friendships that are both, like, positive and terrible. And it's so cool to see that. And I think the two of them really play well together. Like, they feel like friends. Like, their chemistry is incredible. So at the end, when he has to fucking kill Michael Smiley, it's like, oh, I can't do this. It's terrible. Oh, but the scene where they're running through the tunnels is like a top 10, like, make me shit my pants moment. Top 10 shit my pants.
So good. Does so much with so little, and I just love it.
This movie's fucking incredible.
It really is.
Like, this is a really random thought, but, like, if I know, like, Ben Wheatley's made a lot of movies, and they're, like, not terrible, but they're not all great. But the fact that he made this movie should, like, just be an accomplishment enough for him. I'd be like, if this happened to me, I'd be like, oh, cool, I don't give a fuck. I'll make more movies, but I don't give a fuck about what they're like. I made Kill List, so that's all. I made
fucking Kill List. What have you done?
Exactly. I'd be like, I don't have to make any more movies. Like, financially, maybe, but, like, personally, emotionally, I'd be like, I don't need to do anything else for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my thought about that. So what are we watching for our next installment in folk horror? I'm having a very good time watching folk horror. Like, this is a very... I
am too.
It's so broad. I didn't realize how broad it could be. So it's really fun to talk about. Like, it feels like it's a little bit more different than, like, Giallo, which gets kind of repetitive and things like that. It's kind of cool to have this. So... What are we watching next week for our continuation of folk horror?
We are watching Lake of the Dead. It's a Norwegian film from 1958, and it was remade back in 2019 called Lake of Death, which... okay. I believe it's a remake. It might also be kind of like a requel in a way.
Requel.
But yeah, I'm really excited to watch this original. We're watching the OG, so I'm really excited to watch this one from 1958, which...
I know, I'm excited.
It sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited. And if you guys want to watch it, it's on Shudder.
Yeah, absolutely. But who are we talking to on Monday?
We are talking to Max Booth III, who is the writer of We Need to Do Something, which was adapted into a movie last year, and the upcoming book, Maggots Screaming. And we are chatting with him about Tales from the Crypt Demon Night, where Billy Zane is the sexiest he's ever been. And Jada Pinkett Smith is a final girl.
And we find out what Maggot Screaming actually sounds like.
We do. It's an incredible revelation.
It was horrifying.
Yes, it is horrifying.
I never want to eat Rice Krispies again.
Oh, I know. Jesus Christ. So gross. Oh, God. Jesus. Terry, I forgot about that until just now. Fuck you.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Oh my God, wow, what a good song. Anyway, okay, guys.
Some Moana,
you guys have heard from us this incredibly chaotic episode. We want to hear from you. Did you watch something that we watched this week? Do you have suggestions for things we should watch? Let us know. Send us an email, scarredforlifepodcast@gmail.com. Or follow us on Twitter. I'm at MB McAndrews.
And I love the way you're saying this, but I'm at Gaily Dreadful.
And, of course, follow the podcast, @Scarred Podcast, on Twitter.
And throw out some reviews, some ratings. Make sure you're subscribed. On the American iTunes Store, we're at 92 ratings and reviews. Can we get that to 100? That would be amazing.
Oh my god.
Please?
Please? I'm offering found footage recommendations for all reviews.
All the time.
So the offer still stands. But thank you to Eric Power for artwork. Thank you to Sean Keller for our music. Thank you everyone for listening. Please stay safe out there. Most importantly, stay creepy.
And until next time.
Somebody please think of the children! Somebody please think of the children! Somebody please think of the children!
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
What is the briefing room?
It's a behind-the-scenes look at how the criminal justice system works and the lives of the people within that system.
If you love true crime, well, these are the real people who do the job every day of making sure justice is served.
Hi, I'm Detective Dave.
I'm Detective Dan. Together, we have decades of experience in local law enforcement, a profession that we think is often misunderstood.
So we're going to explore how to do it right, and we won't shy away from when it's done wrong. These are stories you'll hear nowhere else. Unique, frank, and unvarnished.
From the team that brought you Small Town Dicks, this is The Briefing Room. Episode 1 drops on August 30th. We'll meet you in the briefing room.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.